So today I'm going to be talking about the Salem witch trials, which I think they're really, I always say this, but they're fascinating. And this is literally the trials, so let's get started. Well, it all happened back in January 1692, so the 17th century, in Massachusetts, in the colonies. So a girl, 9-year-old Elizabeth Parris, and 11-year-old Abigail Williams, they started having fits, just these really violent contortions and these outbursts of screaming, almost like they've been bewitched. So their family sent them to see a doctor called William Griggs. He checked them out, and he saw that they were in fact bewitched. So he began looking into it, and he discovered how other girls in the community nearby, they had been experiencing, like I said, similar symptoms. Screaming, contortions, I couldn't say that word, contortions. This could probably be epilepsy or whatever, but back then it was thought to be bewitchment. So I wanted to say a list of names. I don't know if you know them, but I'm just going to say it. Anne Putnam Jr., Mercy Lewis, Elizabeth Hubbard, Mary Walcott, and Mary Warren. So those were the women, some of the women in the area, young girls, not women, that were being bewitched. So a month later, late February 1692, some arrest warrants were produced for Paris's, the 9-year-old girl I mentioned at the beginning, Caribbean slave, Tituba, and as well as 2 other women who were either homeless or elderly and poor, both of them. First one being Sarah Good and the second being Sarah Osborne. And all 3 women were accused of bewitching the little girls. So the three witches, they were brought in front of a trial kind of thing. It is a Salem witch trial, so you probably knew that part. But it's called the magistrate, and the magistrates there were Jonathan Corwin and John Hathorne, and they were questioned. And their accusers, they even went to the room, and when they went in, they started developing spasms and contortions, screaming, writhing, the whole lot, just they were being bewitched. Again, I say it's epilepsy, could be whatever, but I highly doubt it was bewitchment. So the 3 women, they were asked how they pled, and Good and Osborne, the 2 Sarahs, they pled innocent. Tituba, she confessed, but Tituba, she was really smart and thought, instead of just saying, yeah, I'm a witch, I'm gonna try and name names, act as a kind of sort of informant. So she said, okay, there are other witches in the area, you've only captured 3. I could give the names if you make sure I'm gonna be okay. And she claimed that these witches were acting alongside her in service of the devil against Puritans. So hysteria started spreading amongst the population. It was really crazy. And well, this was a small trial. The trial was in a small town in Massachusetts, in Salem. But this paranoia, this hysteria started spreading to other parts of Massachusetts. And many others were accused, including Martha Corey and Rebecca Nurse. These are members of the church, as the community, but they were still accused. And remember Sarah Good, one of the witches? She had a daughter, just 4 years old. She was also accused of being a witch. So Tituba, she became kind of a reference for other accused. So you were a witch, and you were brought in front of the Salem witch trial court thing. you would probably follow her example. You would probably say there's other witches. Just let me live. I'll tell you all the names. It just got to a point in which the own court system, the justice system of the area was completely overwhelmed. They just couldn't keep up with so many names and so many people being accused and standing trial. It was literally madness. Then a few months later, in May 1692, yes, the governor of Massachusetts, called William Phillips, he said, okay, we need to sort this out. We have kind of a big problem, so let's try and organize some courts to specially deal with this. And he made two, the Court of Oyer and the Court of Terminer, and that's, I think it's Court of Hearing and Court of Determining. And these were just for witchcraft trials in Suffolk, Essex, and Middlesex, which I don't believe are the England ones, I believe are the Massachusetts ones. And these trials, they were presented by judges, namely Hathorne, I mentioned it before, Samuel Sewell, and William Stoughton. And they just had the convictions against suspected witches. The first one was against a woman called Bridget Bishop on June 2nd, and she was hanged just 6 days later on what is now Gallows Hill. That July, 5 more people were hanged. That August, 5 more people were hanged. That September, 8 more people. Seven other witches they then in jail. Giles Corey, Martha's husband, he was pressed to death by stones because he refused to enter a plea. And yeah. That is it. That is the thing in witch trials. I mean, it's just crazy. The reason I think it's really fascinating is because it was probably epilepsy and they didn't know, so they thought they were bewitched. And women died because of it. And one of the most, I think this was early punishment, but before the Salem witch trials, there was a easy way to find out if a woman was a witch. They would put a woman with a brick or something, or tied up, throw her into a lake. If she remained at the bottom of the lake, she was innocent. But of course, if she remained at the bottom of the lake, she would probably drown, so she would be already dead. It was mainly women accused, although some men were. And then if they floated back up, they were witches, and then they would be burned or hanged or whatever. But this was after that, so this was probably all hanging. And yeah, that is pretty much it. That's a really short video, just Salem witch trials. And yeah, I hope you liked it. I hope you found it interesting. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.